Welcome, race fans, back to the Deviant Racing League. My name is Webbo. I'm here to bring you coverage of the fourth of 7 rounds then of season 4.3. We're at the Alsace Village Circuit. Qualifying is just getting underway as the cars are just getting prepared. And we can see on the right hand side of the screen our GTD series points haul at the moment. It's looking very good for Team Cross Border Competition, having full-time driver Dirksey in the winner's seat twice already this season, and getting amassing 53 points. Binkit is having a very good full season run as well after debuting in the series last season. In P2 in the Renault, Jim is third for that CBC partnership. And above the potential promotion line once they compete for places. Camzilla is fourth with Thrasher, K. Morris, and Mercury. Brum, one of our debut drivers, is in our rookies is in P8 with Siam in ninth. Kuros Kai, Saito, Ozzy, Larry, and Slug. Making out our 14 permanent drivers. We have cross-border competition on top prior to today's GTD Pro race, with Team Distinguished in second place, which is good to see. We've got drive-through racing in P3 with the OGs in fourth. Rookie Racing Rebels, Rookie Rebel Racing, the Triple R's are P5 with Michelin Speedstars in sixth, and Team Mountain Dew in seventh and final position at the moment. Anyway, on the circuit, we're on track already for that qualifying period. As I will give you the onboard of Camzilla's, I think that's the VW that we are racing in, qualifying in at least right at this moment. As we run through, he's got a steering wheel and a dash mounted display, certainly for the gear anyway, and a perfectly round steering wheel as well. As we run through, we can just see around the cabin a little bit, as we see a very obstructed rear view with the roll cage, but very nice cabin here, and the VR drivers will be able to look at this in detail. Out of the final corner then, as we prep for our first flyer on board with Camzilla, and we head in towards turn one. A tight hairpin as we cross over the exit line of the pit lane exit, and we imagine that things are going to get a little bit tight out there. Then it's another, probably the longest straight section flat out from the exit of turn one all the way down to the heavy braking of turn three. This is turn two though, still flat all the way through here, even in the GT4 cars, braking just under the flag of the Alsace Village track configuration indicator. We're going very wide on the exit there for Cam. That's probably cost him 2/10 or so, and then it is a long left hand turn four to finish out sector one and prepare for the right-angled right-hander of turn 5, using the camber of the road surface to help us through here. Then something of a standout point here is that two turns that go in the same direction around Alsace. You see lots of switchback opportunities. This left-hander though, turn 7, very tricky, and Cam losing again a couple of tenths, I think, at least, into the ferocious turn 8. Staying in a high gear to minimize traction loss. I think we might want to change down possibly on exit there, but I'm not a driver, so I couldn't possibly give advice to anybody. As we run through and turn sharp right, difficult braking zone for this third and final hairpin, turn 11. Then we've got to get right across to the right hand side of the track to flatten out the angle as we climb the hill through turn 12 over the top of the slight kink of turn 13, and then we will have a very difficult turning left braking zone for the right hand start of the chicane, the Piff Paff chicane, to finish out this race. You can't maximize the width of the track on the exit of turn 15 because you've got to get across for turn 16, and then we power out trying to avoid the wall on the inside line, but only just a 204.308 for Camzilla. This is Siam for the Michelin Speedstars. He's going to go second place, 0.3 of a second slower than Camzilla and Kuros Kai in P3. Siam, though, one of our drivers who are splitting his practice time between sims. Larry goes fastest. Talk about splitting time between sim race platforms. Larry, I don't know if many people know this, but Larry's even taking part in iRacing races at the moment. Dirksey goes fastest ahead of Binkit, and now Larry in third place. We've got Sully, qualifying in 7th at this stage. Kuros Kai in 9th as someone else goes faster. That was Jim in 7th. Kuros Kai through. This is Saito. He's just fresh out of the safety car for the GTD Pros and straight into P9 at this point. Sully in 10th. Kuros Kai in 11th with Thrasher. I think still on an outlap then. Clearly had a problem in that first flying lap and will continue through. If you're watching with us live, thank you for joining us, and do get chatting in the live chat. If you're watching with us on demand, leave your comments and timestamps for your favourite moments in the comments as well. That is the penalty marker board. I didn't actually see any penalties being paid for in the GTD Pro. That's not to say there weren't any, we just didn't see any. And Thrasher then in the Alcantara flocked dashboard car here. We'll look out the rear view. We don't get a nice interior rear view mirror, rear view in this particular car. Sawn off steering wheel arrangement as well, and he will head down then in to finish out this lap. Heavy braking down here, although later braking possibly, I think, than the GT3s, simply because they're in a lighter, slower car. There's less speed to scrub off as we come through for Thrasher. Then he will start his next flying lap. We will see where Dirksey is on the track. Oh, just too late to get an update on his time. Camzilla's gone faster than he's gone before, but is still 6.5 tenths slower than Dirksey. Siam's gone quicker too, and is in 4th position ahead of Larry here. And as I say, Siam and Larry both racing in ACC. Larry in iracing as well. Very, very busy in their prep for these races. Probably not able to commit as much time to these Blue Ribbon Deviant Racing League events as they're probably desiring to. Naturally, you always give up a little bit of time. Mercury's gone quick. He's gone into 7th place. K Morris is in the pits for a new set of tyres. This is Dirksey though, on board with him. Just an outlap for Dirksey. Camzilla, I think, is still on his first set of soft tyres, so be surprised to me if he manages to get anything good out of this lap. His 4th lap in total on these soft tyres. They're already starting to complain. We had multi-stops, 2 and 3 stops. 3 stops seem to be the predominant way to go racing in the GTD Pro. I think mostly because we were in a situation, oh dear, Binkit pushing the envelope and scrubbing this lap. There's no way that's happening for him, as Larry getting crossed up on the exit with some opposite lock. Had a brief spell on the provisional pole here, and I think that is the end of this lap potentially. Let's see, as he tries to get tucked into the toe at the back of Dirksey, down into hairpin profile right hand of turn 3. Certainly letting the car run very, very wide out to the exit there. And a nice upshift mid-corner. I think the car did need a little correction on the exit. He's faster than he was before, even despite a couple of leery moments. So ragging the car, oversteer to the apex, then climbing the curb like crazy is Larry here. Is he still maintaining some speed miraculously? We shall see. Got Dirksey in front going off. That's not very helpful, because you're kind of following the trajectory of the car in front with a blind exit like that. Larry was able to keep it within track limits on the exit. We'll get an update. This would be remarkable if Larry is still positive to his previous delta as we run through. It's right there, and he is still on a personal best, sector 2. Dirksey has been off the circuit here, and I was just about to complain that perhaps he needs to get out of the way, and he does indeed get out of the way. So I think it might have been slightly late for Larry. Larry's ideal preference, but I might be making a mountain out of a molehill right now. Larry then will go downhill, braking. Can he lift himself a row or two here? Currently P6 with teammate Siam alongside him on row 3. Nice little upshift there on the run through turn 16 of the 17 turn circuit, and unfortunately lost all that time in the third sector, and I think might have a legitimate complaint about Dirksey maintaining the dirty air in front of him long after his lap was perhaps already curtains. The 10-minute timer has clocked. The checkered flag will be out now, so no one will be able to start a new lap at this stage. Here is Thrasher, but we did see lap times, qualifying times almost into the wall there with Thrasher. I don't expect that was a quick way to go through there. He takes the checkered flag. He stays fourth. That was a 1 second slower lap. We'll check in with Kay Morris, who's in P7 at the moment. Just reassure me, folks, that the live chat is functioning, and say hello if you can. Love to hear from you. I think Kay Morris, no, I was going to say he's driving slowly, but that's just the engine note of his car. It'd be great to check out all the special liveries here. There seems to be a lot fewer celebrating the nation of France, the nation of our race here today for Alsace, and more celebrating October, or just a change of livery variant. I'm always here for those liveries, as you know. Heavy braking then down into the final chicane then for Kay Morris, clicking through the gears. Some drivers already selecting their race tyres, and they're straight into the wall for Kay Morris, and he just quits out because it's not going to happen on this lap. Jim's going slowly. Looks like Saito's going slowly too. Hi to Zen and to Pat as well, Pat Finn, who says hi. Chat working well. Well, thank you so much, Darkstar Finn, my teammate elsewhere this season. He drew the short straw. Your fastest driver then was, in fact, Dirksey in the Ace Hardware for Team Cross-Border Competition, the Ace Hardware liveried entry in the Audi TT Cup car. Apparently they're the helpful place. You'll have to leave your comments there. Cross-border competition celebrating hardware stores in the USA and Canada this race. I'm interested as to what his teammate has gone for. As CompuWare, is that? No, I don't think so. But anyway, Dirksey is in P1. 6.5 tenths of a second he managed to extract faster than his rivals around the Alsace Village circuit. And we will just have a quick check. I don't know if we'll be able to see those livery options there. But the TT Cup car taking Dirksey the fastest time for 2 minute 3 second and 41 thousandths best lap. Camzilla in second with Binkett in third. Thrasher's in fourth with Siam and Larry. Kay Morris is in 7th place with Mercury in 8th. We've got Jim in 9th. Arsaito in 10th with Sully, Kuroskai and Chaotica. I'm upset to see see a lack of Brum here today. I was expecting to find Brum taking part. I wonder if he'll be here in the race and slot in at the back of the grid. But yes, can't wait to see what the drivers manage to extract. Where's the other Audi TT Cup car? Perhaps you'll recognise the livery there. Darkstar Finn, our Canadian, in P9, but I don't recognise it unless Ace Hardware are the Canadian entry from the cross-border competition. This is safety car, lap 13. Thank you, Chaotica. Appreciate it. And hi to Alexandra, who joins in to say, go swim. Sure. Thanks, Alexandra. That's an interesting comment. I'm going to spend some time trying to figure out what that means. Usually it's go Larry, but there you go. Darkstar Finn saying, he may have lost the Drivers' Championship, but we won the Constructors. We did win the Constructors. This is true, but you did the heavy lifting for me through that one by no doubt at all. But I'm glad to see you in the live chat today. Absolutely. Oh, go see him from Gus. So Gus is cheering on Siam rather than Larry. No, I'm sure that he's cheering on. And Alexandra has a special indicator next to her name because she is a member of my channel. So have a look at the membership options if you like. Try to make some good names for them. So I appreciate everybody's support, whether that's a like, a hype, a tip, or a membership. It all helps us produce the content here for your entertainment and hopefully diversion for a few minutes. We've got a 60-minute race coming up for you around Alsace, heading in towards sunset, but we didn't quite manage to get the full night condition fireworks in the GTD Pro. I don't know if we'll make a small adjustment to try and make that happen. I hope we do. But Alexandra and Gus watching on and supporting Dad Larry here in his GT7 race. Here we go then. We're getting ready for the start of proceedings, and we will see if Dirksy can continue his winning ways in this championship. Row 4 of 7 here at Alsace for the GTD Pro Series. We've got a much better camera. Fantastic. Just what I want for the start of the race. As Siam is showing us pole, but it should be Dirksy. The drivers are getting ready. Siam is showing us the top, but Dirksy is in the correct position there as the drivers are ready then to get racing. We've got 5 red lights. Oh, a quick jump start there. It's dropped the clutch and it's go, go, go. The car behind that was Siam behind, I think, Binkit jumping forward just in reaction as Camzilla will challenge here. He'll challenge Dirksy, but it's Binkit who's trying to go all the way around the outside. Camzilla with a much cleaner run through the next few corners, and Thrasher up into 5th place. Mercury dropping back. We've got Larry in 8th. K. Morris in 6th position. But Dirksy leading them away here. Camzilla on the hard tyres, Dirksy on the mediums. Camzilla, great to have him back racing and pushing hard. But he's looking very good in the distinguished Yves Saint Laurent. Is that Yves Saint Laurent, or is it in fact? I don't know my luxury brands very well. I consider them near to money laundering in the way that they extract money from people. But Binkit is in P3, it's Thrasher in P4 with Siam in 5th and Mercury 6th. K. Morris challenging Mercury here in the CompuWare Chevy with Larry in 8th place on the hard tyres too. Sully's in 9th on medium tyres. We've got Saito in 10th, Jim in 11th place. Not what I would expect from Jim, but he has this habit of showing up later on. Home Hardware is the hardware store being celebrated by Jim here at Cross Border Competition, with Kuros Kai in 12th and Chaotica keeping up actually with these GT4s, and he'll do that as long as he possibly can on this opening lap. But it's Dirksy ahead by nearly a second at this stage, ahead of Camzilla and Binkit, who's confusingly got a few Japanese characters, I think, on the front, could be Korean characters on the front of his VW Scirocco GT4 race car. Binkit in the brick wall Banksy colour scheme of the rookie Rebels. And then we've got a great battle going on here. Thrasher in 4th, Mercury just behind him in the Chevy with Siam in the Honda NSX, and looks like Larry going for P7 that was belonging to K. Morris. Side by side they run through, and looks like Larry just tucking in, and he's got the inside line coming up for the next right-hander. Larry up to 7th with a good sequence there, and it's Siam, his teammate, in the Honda, just following in the wheel tracks of Mercury's Chevy as we run through. Then Siam 6th, Mercury 5th, and Thrasher ahead in P4. It looks like blue and purple was the order of the day when it comes to the livery. We've got the Vegemite Michelin Speedstar Special in the GT4. I think that's a nod to Larry and his Aussie heritage as he runs through. Then Siam ahead of Larry. And there is K. Morris, looking like he needs to defend here in the VW Distinguished car. And it's Versace, and a friend of mine and Darkstar Finn. Biggerwood would be proud to see the Versace emblems on the car here, and he's also got some martini stripes as well. There is a problem on the car. I think there's a problem on K. Morris's design, and we'll have a look at that a little bit later. But he gets the place back from Larry. Took him around the outside. There's a pink flashes for I think Breast Cancer Awareness Month for Sully's Rebel Racing. Sully, kind of the black sheep of the Rebel rookies, because he's not really a rookie at all, but he snuck himself in there with a disguise. But he's got the pink accents on the car in honor of of the great cause of breast cancer. Saito has a ring pull on the hood, and I love that for Team Mountain Dew. Just going for OG flavour for the Mountain Dew. And Jim in the cross-border competition is 11th place in the Audi TT Cup car. His teammate is the leader of the race, and Jim is on the medium tyres as well. They've got "Move Over" written on the front in mirror writing there. Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning kind of looks like a refresher's candy to me for Mountain Dew. For Kuros Kai, he's gone with his GTD Pro team, who've gone for Sweet Lightning this time round, but his teammate going for the other run. We've got Gus there cheering on Larry, and Zen cheering on Gus. So that's awesome. We'd love to see our audience getting into it. Dark Stuff in. I live about 15 minutes away from where Home Hardware started, so I'm cheering for Jim. Man, Kitchener was is a very productive city, if that is Kitchener as well, in the same 15-mile as Blackberry. But it's a crazy place to have spawned so much great success. Thrasher ahead of Mercury and Siam. Kate Morris in 7th. Larry around in 8th place at the moment, just entertaining, I think, Sully for a little bit of time. I'll just have a quick look at this. What I spotted as a possible problem on the Martini stripes on the roof. I don't know if you guys can see it here, but we are dead center on the back of the car. And when we're going straight, I hate to do this, but I have to point out that it's slightly on the skew. I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it up, but that's my impression anyway. There is Siam around the outside of Mercury on the high banking of turn 8. It's not quite happening, but Siam is looking very competitive. He's got the medium tyres working well. Nobody, from what I've seen, starting on the soft tyres here in the GT4, GTD series. Siam low side on Mercury on turn 11 on the hairpin, and Siam, he doesn't need to close the door too tightly. Almost pitching himself into a spin there as Mercury with the twin stripes down the centre line of the USA Chevy here, with K Morris now getting in the mix. Great to see the drivers really pushing hard, but Mercury hanging on right now in that 6th position. Larry's going to catch this group very soon, I'm sure. I don't quite know what the livery is today for Thrasher. Something about Jack. But it's not a logo I recognise here. It's the ignorant British person that I am. Binkit then into P3 with Camzilla for Team Distinguished in the VW Scirocco. Not exactly. I can see it. I can see Distinguished when it comes to Lamborghini. I'm not convinced that VW Scirocco's really scream distinguishment. But there it is. The Bulgari Yves Saint Laurent entry with the colour shift as well for Camzilla in 2nd place, not far away from Binkit. Thrasher leading the next battle pack of himself in 4th, with Siam, Mercury and K Morris right there with them as well. Good to see everybody chatting away. Not necessarily about the racing, but it's all good. And you can also see that Alexandra is P1 in the chat leaderboard today, so you can take that as a sense of personal pride and try and win today in the chat. You can see Home Hardware with the Halloween ghost on the tail of Jim's car. We'll stay tuned for lap 13 for the livery review, and get your comments in. And I desperately want to see Gus's second favourite liveries today, because we know that the Michelin Speedstars will be the favourite. I have to say, this Home Hardware colour scheme looks very racy, looks very quick. And I also love the originality of the Team Rookie Rebels. They're showing different forms of rebellion. So whether that's graffiti art, whether it's a bloody coup d'état, or other styles of government oppression and protest, that's the theme this season for the Rookie Rebels, and they're just. We've had Punk. I think we're going to have had Punk as well, and hopefully we'll get some silent protest and some government overthrow and all of those great things. And I'm going to stop saying buzzwords and get myself cancelled. So it's Jim in P10, it's Sully in P9. Good fight going on here on the medium and hard tyres. And then there's Larry out there in 8th. But again, as I say, on the hard tyres, just 13.4 seconds away from the lead of the race. Not very important how far away from the lead you are at this stage. It's about your strategy and staying connected to the server. Here comes Kay Morris as he is looking for a weakness in the CompuWare Chevy of Mercury. Kay Morris diving down the outside, should get a better run through and looking for the exit and the right-hand side of the car. Of the track. Mercury holding firm on the inside of the next turn. Nice Martini stripes. I've got to say, one of my favourite livery themes of motor racing history is the Martini colour scheme. I have a rain jacket from the Martini period of the Williams F1 team sponsorship. Thank you again, Kay Morris, for the Webbo sticker on the rear of the car. I will not point out any other problems there. And you like gyms, says Gus. Great, okay. Or is that an opinion of Alexandra? I wonder. You have to make it clear when it's Gus speaking through through your avatar at the moment, Alexandra. But we'll get up close. There's some really nice, brightly coloured ones. Thrasher, I really do want to have a closer look at. Jack in the Box, it is his sponsor today. And again, really good racing between these drivers right now. Thrasher on the hard tyres, and making really light work of those. It is Gus. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, well, you are a fan of Larry's and Jim's livery. I know Jim always looks forward to hearing Gus's livery review, as most of our drivers do afterwards as well. They put far more stock in your opinion, Gus, than they do in mine. So it's really important to our drivers that you tune in and let them know who is the best. There is Kay Morris then chasing down. He'll be looking in his mirrors, just slightly concerned that Larry in the Michelin Speedstar car is on his way. Don't panic on the back of Kay Morris's car. A message either for the drivers following or from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy trilogy in 4 parts. The car, and round the outside goes Kay Morris in the end. That was nicely done. Lots of patience being worked, and I do hear "Don't Panic" being read in a Jamaican accent as well when I read it. So obviously, Kay Morris. Now I've seen him on Drink with a Driver. I know, and I've raced with him as well on audio chat. So I can hear his voice clear as day now when I'm reading his car livery. Thrasher is ahead in P4 of Siam, who's running the medium tyres but not quite got the speed of the hard tyre Thrasher in front, or at least not fast enough to challenge him just yet. We're halfway to our safety car lap, which is going to be on lap 13. Up front, Dirksey leads Camzilla and Binkett, as it has been from the start. Binkett can't find a way by Camzilla's VW Scirocco. But Thrasher is suddenly coming under a lot of pressure. It's almost like Siam's listening to the stream right now and has decided, right, Webbo, don't tell me I can't overtake Thrasher, I'm going for it. And he's really caught up very quickly. Larry hasn't been able to catch this battle just yet. And Kay Morris is lurking, quite threatening here. Kay Morris there on the hard tyres, which will start to get into a better place than the medium tyres at this stage through lap 6. As we are, Jose Cuervo Tequila, one of the sponsors, as well as Castello Coffee of the Michelin Speedstars. I don't quite understand the Speedstar reference, other than TX being the captain possibly. And Thrasher is there in P4. Very spooky Jack in the Box livery. I can see spiderwebs on the hood as well, which I'd love to see. Very primary colours. It's not spiderwebs, it's triangles. My mistake there, but what the Jack in the Box sell, folks? Let me know if you know. I'm hoping it's kids' toys or something, because it kind of looks that way. But maybe it's something entirely different. Siam in 5th, Kay Morris in 6th, with Mercury in 7th. Let's go back through the field. There's Larry in 8th on his own, 3.9 seconds in front and behind of Larry, with Jim in the popular Home Hardware livery in the 68. This might be my favourite so far. I'm just going to give a little bit of warning there. I might be on Gus's side today. The Revolution Banksy artwork of Sully puts it out on the grass and the dirt, but rescues it nicely. in the end. In 10th, we've got Saito in his ring pull Mountain Dew. This is quite clever as well, I have to say. I'm not sure whether the ring pull should be on the roof, but then, as you know, I won't be able to see it in the Mazda GT4 race car. And Kuros Kai, then also very good Halloween colour scheme for the Team Mountain Dew, but they're not really doing it today. I'll be hoping for more speed later on. Ace Hardware. You never really associate hardware stores with having amazing logos and and colour schemes, but there it is. I'm intrigued now as to what Camzilla's Japanese characters mean on the VW Scirocco, whether that's a Japanese luxury brand that I'm unaware of. Also sponsored by Vic's Pizza, who have been complaining that their return on investment has not been forthcoming from Deviant Racing League. We will wait and see. I'm pretty sure Vic's Pizza have been getting a lot of screen time, and that will make up for any perceived lack of value. There is Camzilla in second and Binkit in third, chasing him down. Back though to the much talked about battle here for fourth place. It's Siam still in the lead of K Morris for fourth and fifth positions. Mercury in sixth, and that's interestingly Thrasher right at the back of this pack. I wonder if we're in time here to see what happened to Thrasher. Sadly not, but he came close to the wall on the exit of the final corner as well. His Brembo sponsorship hasn't provided him quite with the braking power he had been hoping. Might be switching out a different brake supplier for the second half of our season 4.3. It's been a fabulous year of racing here at Deviant for the season 4 triplicate of mini seasons that we have. 7 races for each season, 1 drop score allowed per run. And it is my, I think it's my, is it my third year or my second year? I think it's my third number season I've been with the organisation, and I'm very grateful for their patronage and support, and all of you in the live chat here who take time out of your day to join us for these races or watch later on as well. There's K Morris in fifth, very active behind Siam. Let's join him on board, catch a glimpse of the Chevy behind the CompuWare Chevy, but we are completely focused here on P4's Siam in that beige Michelin Speedstar Vegemite Special livery here in the GT4. Vegemite only sponsoring the GT4s, and you can see Morris has just way more grip in the hard tyre, and you can just get into such a better rhythm on the hard tyre because they degrade at much lower speed, much lower distance, so your changing balance that happens on the other compounds is obviously dragged out to a much larger point in time, and to a lesser degree as well. They don't drop off a cliff, the hard tyres, they're just never all that quick. But you see medium runners and soft runners getting too much oversteer and then too much understeer through the course of their stints. Hard tyre runners typically quite smooth and steady. But what will win the race out in the end? Will it be overall speed on the compounds? Will it be strategy? Or will it be just raw pace? It's Dirksey leading Camzilla and Binkit in front of this pack, with K Morris continuing his hunt of Siam's fourth place. I feel like K Morris can get by. If he can get by Siam, he's got more speed on this stint. Remember, we're going through to lap 13 on the for the safety car, which means the pit lane closes at the end of lap 12. So the end of lap 11 is your target point to get to. I think the medium runners will get there. Siam looks like he'll get another couple laps out of the medium tyre potentially, and then they've got a larger portion of the race remaining to go, I would have thought, by the time we finish that safety car period. But it's usually a two-stopper now in season 4.3, whereas before season 4.2 and earlier, a lot of the drivers were running a one-stop race and just calculating how they get to the pit stop and then minimizing their time loss in the pit lane. But the fuel and the tyre wear is such now in season 4.3 that I think we're getting some good run. Destiny Bennett, not seen you before, welcome and thank you to cheering on K Morris. I really wish we had like a family and friends camera that I could just switch off all the live coverage. I'm joking, but a picture-in-picture of people cheering on their favourite driver would be pretty cool. I have to say. Little lower right corner, Thrasher goes by Mercury very nicely indeed. Mercury has had a couple of problems, I think, running through turn 12 today, and there you see him. He's lost a lot of momentum, and it's Mercury just struggling with understeer in that one as he runs through. I'd need a live Zoom call, wouldn't I? Astonishing to make that happen as we get people watching and cheering on their favourite driver. That way, it would be really cool. I could get Gus. I could get Gus's live reactions, which would be pretty awesome. But K Morris is in 5th and Siam up there in 4th place. Great to have everybody watching nonetheless and chatting along. A crowd cheering meter, yeah, nice. Siam off the track with understeer, just like we saw on a different corner there from the Chevy. And K Morris just inching his way around on the outside, holding his breath around turn 8. That's a tricky place to make a pass, but K Morris stuck with it. And yeah, that was tricky moment there for him as he runs side by side with Siam here through turn 8. You can hear the tyres. Oh, that was so very close to disaster for K Morris, but he has finally applied enough pressure, and Siam's tyres just giving up the ghost here for him, putting him into the dirt and the gravel as he runs through. There is Siam as he runs through. Some purple on purple Glovas Cup crime there with K Morris and Siam. Interesting, nice. Okay. I haven't been following the Glovas Cup. I have to say, Glovas, without giving spoilers away in the GTD Pro race, Glovas probably not the happiest of drivers to be talked about today. Thrasher's recovered his position as we saw from Mercury, so he was in 4th. He's went down to 7th. He's back to 6th now. And Siam's right there. Dirksy, Camzilla, Binkit, still the order at the front of the race, as it has been. Here we are, Camzilla, and Binkit almost into the wall there. And his medium tyre is dead. He's going for a 11th and final lap on this medium tyre. But you can see the state of that front left. That is certainly going to be a handful through this last lap before the pit lane closes the end of lap 12. So we'll maybe keep our eye on Binkit here, because it could be we see him struggling. In fact, let's ride on the hood for Binkit as we run through. Alexandra has lost P1 in the chat leaderboard here, but is enjoying it nonetheless. There you see the Revolution text in the style of Banksy from Binkit's Rebel Racers. Turning left will be okay, because you're leaning on the right hand side of the axles, but as we come into the faster right-handers, this is not that high a speed corner, but I'm thinking of the next really quick one, which is the turn 8 turn. This is about 195 degrees of constant radius punishment on that front left tyre. Let's see how that feels for Binkit. He'll have to go in slower than he usually does. The camber helps you through here, but you are still struggling. Yeah, down into 4th gear. We've seen most drivers going through there in 5th, and then the car in front just getting away here from Binkit. But it's all about shedding that medium tyre and then trying to make a one-stop work potentially. Or, oh, Camzilla. Now that's going to help Binkit somewhat, because Camzilla walks himself off onto the dirt through the corner. K Morris is in 4th. You see Siam on his medium tyres struggling. Thrasher also struggling. They're all unable to turn to the right as effectively as they have done on the previous run. We might well see the entire field pit at the end of this particular lap. Binkit leaning on that tyre once again on their way into the corner. Dirksy has decided to go on after the safety car period then, or at least during, as Camzilla pits, Binkit pits. We've got K Morris coming in, as is Siam, Thrasher, Mercury. As I say, nearly the whole field apart from the outright leader on their way into the pit lane. Larry and Jim come in. Saito and Sully are fighting, and this is interesting if we see drivers fighting on the approach to the pit lane. It is we saw two cars come together in that very part of the track in the GTD Pro race. Again, no spoilers, but as we run through, we'll see if Saito or Sully peel to the right. It is Sully who's gone in. Saito's staying out on the hard tyres. Larry finishes his pit stop. A safety car is still waiting for the end of the next lap before coming out. Now, Dirksey is prohibited from pitting on lap at the end of his lap 12, start of lap 13. He has the fastest lap of everybody. He's also been protecting that tyre really well. That front left has a lot more life in it than we saw some other medium runners. I can see quite a bit of toe in on the top edge of the tyre, where the tyre kind of leans over towards the centre line of the car. And we'll see if he gets picked up by the safety car, who will get his fuel and tyres done momentarily and then head on out of the pit lane. He's waiting for his chance. He's got a 30-second lead thanks to not pitting versus Siam, who has. Siam had a really healthy pit stop there and has managed to get out ahead of several drivers. Now, where did P2 end up? No, sorry, Siam I don't think has pitted. He has pitted, so he just had a really quick pit stop. He's not fueled. You can see just taking about remaining about 26% of fuel, so he's gone medium, short stint on the hard tyres, then he will switch back, I'm assuming, to the medium tyres on a two-stop strategy. It wouldn't surprise me if Team Michelin Speedstars are actually on the same strategy here as well. Chaotica has avoided embarrassing himself with the safety car pit lane exit. And let's have a look at those liveries then. Ace Hardware and Liqui Moly are the ones that the cross-border competition teams have been sponsored by this week. Great to see new liveries week after week and new themes as well. And thank you for the Webbo sticker there on the car. As you can see, just a very subtle Webbo.com sticker on the Michelin Speedstar car of Siam. There's the Michelin man in a tuxedo for an unknown reason, as far as I'm aware. On the front there, slightly off centre line stripes down, and there's the Vegemite sticker on the back window as well. Jose Cuervo Tequila and DOHC on the back there as well. Here is your brick wall Banksy artist. Very much a rebellion for the Team Rebel racers, and some Banksy stickers there for our McGee trophy car. And Camzilla with the Japanese characters I don't recognise on the front, and then sponsored by luxury brands Yves Saint Laurent and Bulgari, with Modelo as well on the car here. Lots of Japanese writing on the top. Please leave a comment after the race, Camzilla, as to what all that means in the comments later. Versace and Martini are sponsoring the driver of K. Morris in the Distinguished Gentleman here, and Emporio Armani as well. And then Jack in the Box, which no one has updated me as to what Jack in the Box sell for Thrasher. Well, it's not going to win any taste awards, but it's certainly bright and colourful for Jack in the Box here. Then you've got the rather muted but very USA special of Stars and Stripes for CompuWare Chevrolet and Boza as well on the car for Mercury. It is a fast food restaurant, Astonishing says. Okay, thank you very much. And the Team Mountain Dew going for the original Mountain Dew colour scheme here for Saito, and the ring pull on the hood is a very, very nice touch. Love it. Very nicely done. But I do think that for me, this is the livery of the day. Love it. Burger, fries, salads, tacos. Very mid. Says Astonishing. Okay, well I maybe won't look out for them and try to eat them next time I'm in the States. This would work for a Belgian round of the championship. I have to say, scratched up the front left there has Jim, but I love it. I really like this colour scheme. Looks aggressive, looks fast. Yeah, original as well. Nice one. Larry, and unchanged as far as I can tell. team car for Michelin Speedstars. We've seen Dirksey, who's now pitted during that safety car, has come out in P8. And that's our livery review, I think, done there. So we've seen everything there is to see about these cars. So you can now let me know who you think is the best one. And we haven't done this particular version of Sweet Lightning. Who did it better, this one or the GT3 Mountain Dew Sweet Lightning? And I haven't heard from the GTD pros what Sweet Lightning tastes like. So you have to let me know on that one as well, please. But good for the month of October as well for Kuros Kite. And sponsored by Michelin, who are not only a title team sponsor but also a tyre sponsor for the Mountain Dew team in the Mazdas. Safety car is getting ready, I believe, to come on this one. I do like this version of Sweet Lightning better. Interesting. Controversial. From Astonishing. Why aren't you racing today, Astonishing? That's what I want to know. Couldn't find a reserve seat to take part. But good to have you in the chat nonetheless. Definitely a very bright coloured grid here. We are just getting into the halfway point of the race, as you can see, centre of the screen or bottom left. Dirksey's livery is the best. The Ace Hardware is the best livery, says Astonishing. Wow. Okay. That's interesting. Certainly interesting. I don't know how much agreement you will find in the chat, but that's all cool. Everyone has a right to their opinions, for sure. We haven't actually got up close and personal with K Morris's, apart from the back and the slightly off centre line stripes. But there is the Versace. We have done this one. It's all cool. It's all cool. I didn't want to do a disservice to anybody by forgetting them. Safety car. I think the lights will go off momentarily. I haven't yet. Where are we? But as far as I'm aware, this should now be it. End of lap 14 for the safety car. Binkett should control the race now and slow them down. Took place in a lot of series last year. Need a break before your championship winning run next season. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Absolutely, everyone needs a break from time to time. Binkett getting ready, but he's leaving it very late to press the loud pedal. Green flag here at Deviant Racing's GTD, and there you see, leaving it very late, and Camzilla much more confident on the brakes on his medium tyres to Binkett's hards, and he's going to let K Morris by as well. Also on the mediums, the hard tyres didn't heat up. Binkett took a long time to even slow the cars down, let alone get going. And the two distinguished gentlemen of Camzilla and K Morris will actually fight here on this opening green flag lap in the second half of our race. And it's the medium tyres, which I don't think will survive to the end of our race. Even though they're on slightly lower fuel loads, I still think the medium tyres are going to struggle before the end of the race. I think it's going to be a two-stopper for those drivers. The ones on the hards may do it. Let's see what they... Although, I have to say, they didn't fully fuel the cars, Binkett and other drivers. So, as far as I remember, Thrasher started on the mediums as well. No, he was definitely on the hards, excuse me. So, he's done one tyre change, and I think we'll see the soft tyres then at the end for those ones. And we've got Mercury in 5th place. Behind them, Larry having a good restart, or at least a good pit procedure through the safety car, and he's in P6 with Jim in 7th. So Gus's favourites in 6th and 7th. Dirksey, Astonishing's favourite livery, is in P8. The headlights starting to come on, or is that just blinkers on Dirksey's cars? I think it's the hazard lights, and then the Mountain Dew can of our Saito goes through and is in 9th place. Behind him, Siam. Then Sully possibly got tyres to the end, but I doubt it with the amount of fuel. Sully's light fueled right now. Sorry, Kuros is light on the fuel on the hard tyres. And we've got 12 runners. Our safety car driver has pitted, and I don't know if he'll be back out. Well, I know he won't be back out, but will he check out and exit the lobby, or stay with us is always a question. Sometimes the safety car driver sits and spectates, just like I am, and it will look like they're in the pits. Or they'll stay in the lobby at least. K Morris then, a little bit of understeer on the way into the first corner. That's a tricky one because of how wide it is and high speed with the braking action. Thrasher is tucked up behind Binkit, that wedge-shaped Lamborghini, looking very, very threatening at this stage. Can he find his way through, I wonder? And Mercury looking on and hoping for some crumbs of the battle going on in front. Mercury has scratched up the front of that very nice looking, well, I don't know if it's scratches or just a very visible radiator that I can see there. It's drive-through racing, so you can get a jack-in-the-box drive-through, can you, on Thrasher's car? I should have known that. Of course, it's drive-through racing's theme. They're not taking drive-through penalties, and Mercury down the inside. Oh, that was close to disaster as he gets over that curb on the apex. Thrasher and Larry fight on. Larry's trying to follow Mercury through there after Thrasher's been offline for a moment. Larry down the low side, but Thrasher holds on right round the high side of the highly cambered turn 8. And we'll perhaps have another look at how that one went down from Larry's perspective as he tries to take the inside line here. Has to delay his throttle application, runs in 4th place, but just can't get the ultimate speed. And then Thrasher says, no, still my position. You're not coming through that easily. Oh, that's another car off. Is that Larry off on the dirt? Or was it his teammate, Siam, we just saw? So just check out whether that was Siam running on wide through turn 12. I think it was Siam who's stuck on the outside, and frankly, there's contact through the corner. It was Siam out there versus Saito. No harm though, potentially no foul, but Siam dropping back, losing a little bit of time. Kuros Kai in the Mazda for Team Mountain Dew in 11th. We've got Sully in 12th, and our safety car driver is still with us. 0.4 of a second separating the two teammates at the head of the field, but Binkit and Mercury are side by side on the approach to turn 2 here. The next significant corner is a hard braking hairpin of turn 3 to the right of the track, so Mercury in the better position potentially here. Classic racing line for him, denied on the outside. Binkit holds on in the McGee Trophy, and that is another great example of respectful racing between two drivers. Binkit the newcomer, Mercury the admin, and OG here, and Thrasher going down for the inside just to cheekily take a position away. That is not respectful racing, as Mercury is off sideways on the exit of the next corner. Thrasher looking a little wild and taking the chances where they come. Here is Thrasher on the approach into the corner. Mercury somewhat closed the door, you have to say, as well. Takes 2 to tango, and we haven't seen, I don't know if you get tango in the US, but you have to do a tango livery as well if you do. Some iconic TV advertisements in for tango when I was a kid, so I don't know if you can look them up on YouTube if you feel like it. You've been tangoed is what you need to look for. Saito in 9th, Siam in 10th, Kuros Kai running 11th, and Sully at the back of the grid. But at the head of the field, currently it is all about Team Distinguished and the VW Scirocco's. These short wheelbase, I think they're front wheel drive VWs, very much the car to have, I think, today around the tight and twisty Alsace circuit. And it is looking very good indeed for those distinguished drivers. They'll need to work together though, not put each other off too much in terms of pace, because there will be some hard runners right now trying to make the end of the race if they can. I think though that they haven't fueled up to a point that would allow that to happen. Binkit, the lead hard runner at the moment. Thrasher has used the hard tyres, is on the mediums, but I think we'll need to fuel up before the finish, as well as see those medium tyres not reach the ultimate end of the race. We were only just on the 30-minute to go point on the race when the safety car came in and we had the green flag to restart the race. That TT Cup car looks better and better as the sun is setting. I think hats off to Jim here in the and the Canadian club. Home Hardware is the brand being celebrated. I just want to check out what's on the rear window if I can. It's Happy Halloween. Is that, just can't quite make it out. I think it's to do with Halloween. Yes, it is Happy Halloween. Great to see as well, just celebrating the month of October. Halloween coming up, I think, before the end of this season. Before the next race of this season. Of course, it's coming up before the end of the season. And there is Dirksy in P8. But in 2 weeks' time, we go to the Nürburgring Nordschleife 24-hour configuration. Scene of one of my favourite safety car moments. It's on one of my shorts. It's the safety car driver doing spin turns to actually get back on the circuit. There is Jim in 7th and Dirksy in 8th. Dirksy was the leader of the race, don't forget. So Dirksy on the hard tyres. I think will be one stopping this one by the look of his fuel and tyres right now. And I think we'll be trying to work together with Jim, maybe trying to save a bit of fuel behind Jim for a bit, but has an 8.4 second deficit to the outright leader Cam Ziller. So well within that pit stop sequence. They might try and save some fuel running line astern like this. And you have to say, based on qualifying and the first half of the race, that Dirksy is the driver who is most likely to make a long one-stop low fuel run work for the end of this race. But they'll be keeping an eye. The flat screen drivers will be keeping an eye on the delta to the leader. If you're in VR, you can't do that, so you do have one hand somewhat tied behind your back. CM in 9th, Saito in 10th, Kuroskai still in 11th, and Sully still out there in P12, some 26 seconds now away from the leader of the race is Cam Ziller and K Morris. I don't know if they are stealing time of each other's ultimate pace, but 0.3 of a second separating them as Cam is back with a vengeance. Larry up to 3rd, and several drivers off on the grass in this great run of high quality drivers here. Mercury might be feeling like he needs a little bit of revenge, a gentle revenge on Thrasher. He deserves a receipt, possibly, for the somewhat robust overtake earlier on. So around we go. The tricky turn 8 that time. Those Audi TT cross-border competition, championship leading cross-border competition pair still within sight here of this. Ultimately, what is a battle for the podium. Larry in P3, trying to take all of his iRacing and ACC learnings and apply them to GT7. For those of you who weren't aware, Larry has tried and does race in iRacing. He's a PC driver nowadays. Make of that what you will. Was that an overtake coming, perhaps, between the two runners here for the cross-border competition? I think right now they're a-okay. Thrasher has decided to be the first to dip into the pits for his final of the 2 stops with 18 minutes on the clock. Thrasher starting on the hards and will run 2 sets of medium tyres on the Lamborghini. Dirksy closing in on an opportunity here. They'll be in close communication, the 2 drivers. Good to see the Deviant Racing League logo on the banner across the windshield for Jim there in the 68. Dirksy hasn't gone with the same arrangement. He's gone for a slightly different GTD Pro colour scheme. The neon green is the GTD Pro official colours. You'll see that on the race stickers, on the race number stickers, I should say, on the cars. It's mandatory, or mandatory, if for those USA in the audience. We've got Larry in P3 here. He's only 4.5 seconds away from K Morris, but they're on a similar strategy. The Michelin Speed Stars and the Distinguished VWs. Little rear wheel slide, won't cost him too much there, Cam Ziller. Of course, the front wheel drive VWs will be quick and nimble, but wear the front tyres away because they're doing the power and the power delivery, the traction and the turning. So that is going to be problematic for any front wheel drive runners. K Morris in P2. Has dropped back slightly from Cam Ziller. I wonder if he decided that they were slowing each other down a little bit. Turn the engine down maybe 1 click. and preserve a little bit of fuel. Every litre of fuel you preserve is less time in the pits, stationary, getting more fuel put in on your last stop, of course. So while it will cost you a little bit extra in terms of weight penalty, it's nothing compared to the glacially slow fuel delivery here in the gravity-fed Bowsers of GT7 pit stops. Jim in P6, Dirksy P7. No fighting between these two at this stage, but I think on a preservation run to the flag here. See him in 8th. Our Saito running in 9th place with just under 16 minutes left to go. I'd love to hear your predictions and whether we will get those gorgeous Alsace fireworks before the end of the race. Will it get dark enough? Gyros Kai and Chaotica have decided to pit. That means Sully has currently in his Renault Megane trophy is in there. And Alexandra says 6, 7, 10, 11. I think that's some, whether that's Gus with his 6, 7 business. I think it might be. And I see lots of kind of withering adult reels about 6, 7. I don't really have contact with with people who are actually using 6, 7 as a as I don't know, some sort of phrase. It is great to see the distinguished gentleman in the VWs up there at the front. Larry in P3 ahead of Mercury and Binkit. So Larry's gap 0.6 of a second over Mercury in these GT4 cars as we run through, and you can see the sun is setting now. Slightly quieter period of the race, as Dark Stuff Finn says, as an older person I recently found out about this 6, 7 thing and I'm very confused. Yeah. It's definitely a generational divide for sure. And Gus doubling down there with the 6, 7. There are 6 and 7. It's Jim and Dirksy, the 68, and Dirksy's number is I pause, 86, 68 and the 86. So 6, 7 are 6, 8 in fact, and now 5th and 6th as we've had pit stops from those runners. This is their time now, Dirksy and Jim, to take themselves towards the front of the grid. Dirksy definitely doing the kind of cyclist team leader, GC rider thing. And is this the switch? Is this the switch now as Dirksy has saved some fuel? You can see he saved a lot of fuel compared to Jim. He now gets to go ahead as Destiny, also a young person, is confused by 6, 7. Okay, yeah, we need an explanation of 6, 7 here. I challenge these young people to actually explain 6, 7, because I think it's just fashionable. It's like flossing. It's just fashionable to do it. It's from a song, says Astonishing. Yeah, okay, cool. It is Jim then in that 6th place. He's got Dirksy now in front of him. Dirksy should be on for a podium, if not the win today. It's lap 22 with 13 minutes left to go. Just over 2-minute laps, 2:05, 2:06 previous laps here. Go ahead then, Gus. Go explain to us 6, 7, please. For all the old people in the commentary booth and the live chat, give us an explanation of 6, 7 and tell me it's not just a fad and something that people say for no apparent reason. Saito in P7 there has the metallic green and of course the metallic can cap on the hood, and he's running in 7th right now, but will not make the end of the race on those tyres. I don't see CM doing it either. Both of the distinguished drivers have gone into the pit lane, as has Larry. So Mercury goes in 2. Dirksy and Jim will go by, and I think be on a conservation run to the end of this race and be hoping to have calculated this perfectly. Certainly Jim has been doing a really strong job for his teammate. Dirksy kind of needs to do the job for Jim now to try and make sure that Jim can reach the end of the race and try and help tow him along. They will have a gap for a short period, but the question in the race engineer and team boss's mind here for cross-border competition is it better to try and get the win with one driver, or potentially lose that win but get a double podium for both drivers? And that is going to be the question really in their minds, because Jim has a lot less fuel and tyre grip left in the car. But is the team better served by them sticking together and helping conserve fuel for Jim, or is it better served by Dirksy sprinting away as fast as he possibly can here right now and building the gap? Because these drivers are out on fresh softs, fresh mediums for the distinguished cars. They are 5 and 7 seconds away from the outright lead of the race. I think that is going to get swallowed up really quickly. So Jim might be playing rear gunner here for the team and holding off the drivers, these VWs, for as long as possible. Mum of Tween here says 6.7 means so-so or average. Okay. Nice. I thought it also had some kind of slightly what am I thinking? Slightly controversial meaning as well, but we'll see. as Finn says, but why? We've lit it up here with in the chat with Gus with his 6.7. But there's nothing 6.7 about Jim and Dirksy right now. 1.9 seconds apart. 2.5 seconds for Jim ahead of Camzilla, who is on much better tyres at this stage. And Jim just doesn't have the fuel left in the car. So he is going to hang on to this second place as long as possible, but may not make the end of the race. Now the question in his mind is going to be, once I have ended up letting them by, I can go on the soft tyres, I can put a small splash of fuel in, but how long do I wait for that moment? The lead at the moment down to 3.8 seconds back to Camzilla's third place. It is very much team distinguished against team cross-border competition here in GT4, but it'll be a while before we see any overtakes. Mercury in fifth. Looked like he made his way through there. He's the one who's gone for the soft tyres. We will have 5 laps to go here. Larry in sixth. Is that Thrasher in sight? It is Thrasher in sight. Larry's defending from Thrasher right now, and Larry's on new medium tyres. Did Thrasher go for the softs? No, mediums for Thrasher too. Nice section here of the racetrack, and great portion of the race for these 6-7 drivers in the midfield. Side by side as they go through the next right-hander. This is turn 8. Rolls reversed earlier for Larry, who was hanging out down the bottom of this cambered corner. Larry in P7. Nice. Okay. As in, how was school today? It was 6.7. Is the correct answer, is it, at the moment? Okay. So it's meh, it's average, it's mid. That's what we're going with for 6.7. Lights ablaze then on the cars as the sun starts to set here in our race. I don't know if you're getting this, but on my second device I've got showing just reassuring me that the race is still running, which is what I use it for. I'm getting ads in the live chat window instead of over the top of the race screen, and I think that might be a new feature for live stream. So I quite like that. That's really great for everybody. Why did we call things da bomb in the 90s? Kids be kids. This is true, very true. There we go. Kuroskai and Sully. P11 and P12. Looks like the device keyboard or PC keyboard has been stolen from Gus and is back in the hands of Alexandra now. There you go. Safety car drivers still in the pit lane, and Camzilla and K Morris have passed Jim. That's big really for Jim. Unfortunately, here it is into turn 8. Just less grip available to Jim. The inside and then the over/under from Camzilla and K Morris respectively. Great teamwork there. One driver putting their cross-border competition rival off their ideal line, and the other one following through on a different line. Very nicely done indeed. P2 then for Camzilla. His gap to the leader 2.2 seconds only. Who's running on those hard tyres at the end of the run. I'm not gonna be fooled by that one from our user with the initial J. Good job, K Morris, said Destiny Bennett, obviously cheering on K Morris here. Can they agree amongst each other though to take the lead of the race and then battle rather than hold each other up? The distinguished gentleman. Thrasher in 6th and Larry in 7th as this run. Astonishing, saying K Morris is really putting in the work this season. K Morris, great apex from him. He just couldn't capitalise because Camzilla is just too close as they are now closing in on the lead. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go, so 3 laps left in this Alsace round 4 of the Deviant Racing League GTD season. 4.3 this season portion. We do have champions for each of those decimal points through the course of the season. I don't know if we do year total points. I know we do like career total points for Deviant, but whether we do a breakdown of essentially the 3 mini seasons, that would be interesting to me, because obviously then the cars change over. It does look like this VW Scirocco, despite being one of the older cars here in the GT4 category, are still a very good race car. The current BOP adjustments. K Morris, purple sector 1 on this lap. If he continues running purple, he'll have to get by Camzilla. Oh, wow, that was wide on the exit there for K Morris. The sun is dipping. I don't think it will be dark enough for fireworks by the end of the race. And Dirks' lead has been decimated down to 0.6 of a second. Surely Dirksy cannot hold on to the end of the race against these medium runners. But he was going for the tortoise strategy versus the aggressive hares of Camzilla and K Morris here, but let's see what Dirksy can do. He had the speed at the start of the race and in qualifying, but this is going to be a significant challenge for him. He's also lower on fuel than those drivers. It may be better here to just pop into the pits and get a set of softs, but time is going to run out hugely. Astonishing, saying blouse and skirt purple. Okay. This is to do with the Globus Cup, right? Here is the action then. Camzilla down the inside. Dirksy on the classic racing line through here. K Morris just letting his teammate destroy his own tyres. And Camzilla fully sideways on the exit of the corner. Gives up position. We'll have to see if that one was a touch from K Morris's point of view. Here we go. Camzilla offline, going for the inside line. It's rare to see an overtake actually work through there, because you need to get the car back round. And that was friendly fire from K Morris, who pitches Camzilla into a little sideways moment, almost into the barrier. Frankly, I think he's going to let him by again, but this is hurting for their bid for the victory. This is exactly what the distinguished team boss does not want to see. Versace, they can't even decide who is the luxury good manufacturer right now. Oh, K Morris with the purple sector. Okay. What are you talking about, blouse and skirt then? What is that? You're really confusing me now. Okay, Jim in 5th. Mercury just being passed. They're just passing Jim, who is out of fuel, out of tyres. And if he's decided to try and run this home with a low engine, this is going to be problematic. Is Dirksy going to hang on here with a lap and a half left to run? The gap has opened out to a second. The medium tyres degrading as we speak, but still in good condition, I have to say. K Morris and Camzilla have traded places once again after this run. So K Morris in P3, hoping to both get by Dirksy and have some time left to challenge each other, but I'm afraid time is running out. Under the 2 minutes now. There was your 2-minute warning as they run wide out of turn 12, up over the hill of turn 13 and drop downhill into the chicane that finishes out this lap. Dirksy might need to defend. Camzilla going going long on the brake pedal, doesn't quite get the job done. Dirksey through the final corner. He has to hang on for one more lap against these two distinguished gentlemen who are going to go hell for leather now at this point. The gloves are off. It's time. It's now or never. K Morris missing the braking point in apex, possibly. I thought it was maybe going for a late apex, early throttle application, but it didn't quite work out. Here is Camzilla on Dirksey. Dirksey allowing him down the inside because he knows that will put him out on the outside, on the dirty side of the track here, on the approach into the next hairpin. Dirksey has to drive a really defensive final lap to make this one work, to keep the win. This is fingernail biting stuff here as we run through. Camzilla second, K Morris third, as Dirksey is leading the race. We're still not falling for it, user. We know what time the race is supposed to start as Dirksey leads this one in this final lap. It's Camzilla. He's going to be attacked from both sides. Perhaps that's what the distinguished cars, VW Scirocco's, need to do here is attack each side of Dirksey. And I'm sure K Morris is waiting for that opportunity. Dirksey certainly knows his way around the circuit by now and is holding firm, taking the inside line, taking the middle. K Morris takes Camzilla on this final lap and might be going for the victory outright. K Morris up into second place. Dirksey's going to have to defend into the next hairpin. He turns in early and holds on very nicely indeed. K Morris long on the brakes. He's given up some pace here. I think Dirksey might be able to hold on. I'm expecting a dive bomb at the end as K Morris is doing everything to try and maximise his momentum out of turn 12. He's given up the place back to Camzilla. The two distinguished VWs have swapped round twice in the course of this final lap, but neither of them have had the ability to take on Dirksey. It's still going to be a drag race to the finish. Did Dirksey hit the wall or run out of petrol? I think Dirksey ran out of fuel at the end. Camzilla wins in Alsace ahead of K Morris, and we will just see what happens with Dirksey. He does run out of fuel with meters to go. Look at him here, hits the fuel, and then boom, the fuel has gone. The fuel has gone at the end of the race. He held on. He didn't get past with an overtake, but Camzilla wins ahead of K Morris. What a finish there! And Mercury even finished ahead of Dirksey in the end. Thrasher's fifth, Lowry sixth, Jim in seventh, and Binkit with Siam. Did Jim run out of fuel as well? I think he might have done. Binkit in 8th, Siam in 9th, Saito in 10th, with Kuros still to finish ahead of Sully and Chaotica. But what a finish to this race. Camzilla take a bow with that strat. He probably had an extra lap of fuel in the car in the end. Even more fuel for K Morris. I thought they'd thrown away every hope of finishing on the winners step, one of the two VWs, but ultimately it was Dirksey running out of fuel at the end that cost him. Mercury's put on the windshield wipers. I don't think it's raining. But he's hit a button by mistake through the course of this one. But frankly, that was a tremendous finish to the race. Really good build-up, as that is a victory for Camzilla for Team Distinguished and the VW Scirocco in the end, finishing 3.1 seconds ahead of Mercury and Dirksey. Look at the gap between Mercury and Dirksey at the end, but it's Camzilla winning ahead of K Morris. Great for the championship to close up the lead of the championship ahead of Mercury, Dirksey, Thrasher, Larry, Jim, and Binkit, with Siam, Saito, Kuros, Kai, Sully, and thanks to Chaotica for driving our safety car. That's us for the channel today. Hopefully we'll be back next Sunday for more action. I'll be probably early on Sunday racing in the Webbo Cup for Project Racing. We'll have I'll be with the Ukraine Racing League the following in the afternoon, and then we'll see how things go. I might well be back with Deviant as a driver for the MX5 series in the evening, and then 2 weeks time, of course, we go back for round 4 to the Nürburgring for Deviant Racing League's season 4.4, round 5 of the 7. Thanks everybody for watching. Always great to spend time together with you all, and we will catch you on the next race day.